Hello students, welcome back to the channel. Students, in this video we are going to discuss a very important law and its proof. This law is called Ohm's law. Let's start. It states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across its ends provided the physical conditions are constant. What is the meaning of this law? Here you can see a circuit. Suppose we have applied a potential difference V in this circuit, right? This is the potential difference V, and due to this potential difference, let the current I be flowing in this circuit. So, what is the meaning of potential difference? When you see a cell, a pencil cell or any battery, you must have seen that a value in volt is written on the battery. For example, the pencil cell which you use for toys, for remote controls, you can clearly see that 1.5 V, V means volt, 1.5 volt is written on the cell. What is the meaning of that statement? 1.5 volt means 1.5 joule per coulomb. If the potential difference of a cell is 1.5 volt, it means that when this cell is used in a circuit, it will give an energy of 1.5 joule to 1 coulomb charge. Right? That is the meaning of potential difference. How much energy this cell is going to provide to 1 coulomb of charge. So clearly, if you increase the value of V, 1 coulomb of charge will gain more energy, and using more energy, it will move more rapidly, and that is current. The rate of flow of charge through the circuit, that is current. So if we increase V, then I will increase. That is Ohm's law. But it is true only when the physical conditions are constant. What is the meaning of that thing? So first we will write V is proportional to I. We will discuss this shortly, right? Why this tail is present in this small definition, provided the physical conditions are constant. We are going to discuss that shortly. So V is proportional to I. So we are going to prove this law, and then we will understand that why this last tail is there. Okay, so let's start. So how we are going to prove Ohm's law? Using a relation between current and drift velocity. This is the relation I equal to A N E V D, which is the starting point in proving Ohm's law. I is the current in this circuit, A is the area of cross section of the conductor through which the current is flowing, N is the number density of electrons in the conductor. Number density means number of electrons per unit volume, right? E is the charge of the electron, and Vd is the drift velocity. It is the velocity acquired by the electrons. It is the average velocity acquired by the electrons when they are running in these wires, right? The average velocity of electron when the electrons are running in this wire, that is called drift velocity. So I is equal to ANEVD, and value of Vd is E by m into tau. These two formulas are used to prove Ohm's law, right? So we will use these two formula. So Vd is drift velocity, E is the electric field. When you apply potential difference, then an electric field is present, which is equal to, suppose this is the conductor in which the current is flowing. Ignoring the wires, we will say that this is our conductor for which we are going to prove this law, right? So this potential difference, we are ignoring these wires, right? Resistance of the wire and everything of the wire, just ignore it. We will focus on this conductor only. So suppose the length of this conductor is L, and obviously the potential difference between the two ends of the conductor is V. So this E is V divided by L, right? So that is electric field. M is the mass of the electron, and tau is, this is called relaxation time. When these electrons run inside the conductor, they collide with the heavy metal ions present in the conductor. So the average time which an electron takes between two collisions, that is called relaxation time. So these two equations will be used to prove Ohm's law, right? Okay, we will substitute the value of Vd in this equation. So I becomes A n E, put the value of Vd, E by m into tau. Okay, now multiply it, it becomes A n E square. Let's write it on the next page. It becomes I equal to A n E square E by m into tau. And since E is what? E is V divided by L. Now put this value of E, therefore I becomes A n E square V by into tau, and just keep this V in one side and shift every other variable to the other side, and let's write this side first. So V becomes, shift this ml here, ml divided by, shift all these here, A n E square and tau into I. Now if we look closely, this m, l, a, n, e and tau are constants, but only when the physical conditions are constant. For example, let's analyze these one by one. This m is the mass of the electron, which is always constant, so let's leave it. L is the length of the conductor. How can we change the length of the conductor? We can change the length of the conductor by stretching the conductor, by cutting the conductor, by heating the conductor, right? So length can be changed by changing pressure or temperature, which are physical conditions. So we have to keep pressure and temperature constant. Why? Let's see. A can be changed by stretching, by heating, by cutting, but A can, just like L, A can only be changed by changing pressure and temperature, and we are keeping pressure and temperature, which are physical conditions, constant. N is the number density of electrons, which is always constant, that is the property of the conductor. E is the electronic charge, that is constant. Tau is the relaxation time, which depends on temperature. When you increase the temperature, electrons gain more kinetic energy and they move more rapidly, so they take less time between two successive collisions, but temperature is constant. So if we keep physical conditions like temperature and pressure constant, we cannot change this whole value. We cannot change this whole value. So if the physical conditions are constant, this whole is constant, and if this is constant, then we can say that V and I are proportional. So that is Ohm's law, and this is a constant which is called the resistance of the conductor, and it is denoted by the symbol R. This is called the resistance of the conductor. It is denoted by a symbol R. It is a quantity which opposes the flow of electrons through a conductor, and its SI unit is ohm. So this equation becomes V equal to IR, which is a very famous equation. You all have studied this equation in class 10th also. So this was Ohm's law and its proof. It is a very important topic. If you are in class 12th, then it is a very important topic. Just prepare it carefully, make careful notes and revise it again and again in writing. So I'll meet you in next lecture. Till then, all the best.